Why is the chat not appearing on screen? That'll fix itself in a minute, probably. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Hello, Darkstar. Hello to Aaron. Hello to Jen. Hello to Elaine. I want to start this off with a bit of a moan. So, I have bought some books, which is no great surprise as anyone, and the last one came today. It's one of my Don't Die July reads. And look at the state of that from Amazon. Like, just mangled inside for no good reason. And it's not worth me sending it back in the grand scheme of things. It really isn't. But, like, it's... Look at the state of it. Morons. Like, it's like someone's chewed the page and then folded it over. Genuinely not. I don't know what it is, right, with Christina Henry books and Amazon. But the last time I bought a Christina Henry book from Amazon, they'd managed to, when they sealed the box, seal the box to the book and not the box. And it took forever to get the glue off it. And now they've done this. So I am not buying Christina Henry books anymore from Amazon. It offends me. But anyway, other than that, I am going to be doing I know, me buying books, shocking, right? I will be doing a book haul at some point because I've got a few physicals that I've picked up over the last few weeks, unsurprisingly. So, I also have something else which may be of interest to people, but we have hair dye. Because it's that time of year again when I need to redefine my personality with hair dye. And also other stuff that's coming up in September. But how is everyone? How are the UK peeps dealing with the heat? Has it started to pass in your area yet? We've been a lot cooler today. It rained earlier for 12 minutes. Yeah, no, that's a new book. That's why I'm a little bit peeved. Will I be doing my... No. I have done my eyebrows before, which was a terrible idea. I need to bleach it first. So, I do actually need to put a vote up because I actually have... It's linked to something else, so I have 5 options for colours, but I've only got 4 of them at the moment. So, the light is really poor in here today. Cooler, a lot cooler tomorrow with rain. Yeah, we've had a bit of rain. I think it's 23 still, which isn't too bad. I was going to go out for a walk earlier, and it just pissed down the minute I walked out the door. So it's like, no, we'll do the walking tomorrow, maybe. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be a lot cooler, and I'm looking forward to it. So what's everyone reading at the moment as well? I don't know if I can get this up on screen. I don't think it'll show very well. English language. I'm reading a book that may be of mild interest to Elaine, actually. Does it show? Cryptids and Cryptozoology. Oh, Jesus. Zoology by Oscar Johnson. So this is technically an arc, inverted commas. It is actually out now, but I had a year to read it anyway, so I'm well in time. And this is kind of a whistle-stop tour over cryptids in general. A few stories, a few bits and pieces. Don't know what you mean. There's no Sarah J. Maas there. None at all. You're starting Pets for Legion. I look forward to hearing what you think of that. I actually preferred it to Bound by Blood, personally, but that's just me. Chapter of the Falcon by Matt Spencer. Oh, tell me more. I'm good. I'm reading Good for Her, an anthology of women's rage edited by Sarah Jewell, Sean McElhaney, English, and T.C. Parker. How's that going? Is it good? I presume it's a short story collection then, with it being an anthology. Is it? I don't know. I get confused. But I'm really interested to see how Aaron finds Pets for Legion, though. I know Elaine was meant to be reading that, but keeps getting distracted by YouTube shenanigans, and because YouTube is stupid, and various other things. So, and all the other books that she's got, and the cats, and the 9 millionth. My hair is not well. I might have to get a haircut tomorrow. Gotta get back to Legion. Need to finish Hill House. Sadly, take it forever. So I tried to read. God, what's it called? By Shirley Jackson. It's not that one. It's something else. I can't think what it is off the top of my head. But hello, cat. Lunchtime. Do no work. You probably do more work on your break than everybody else does the rest of the time. I was reading a Shirley Jackson book, and I just couldn't get into it. This is part of my issue with classics. Can't for the life of me think what it was called though. So, nutshell full. I'm about to read Ship of Magic. Nice. So, I have not read the Live Ship Traders. I do have them behind me. I only picked them up recently. I love all the Fitz books, all of them. I was going to pick up. There was a gorgeous special edition available on like Luma Crate, which I was hoping to get hold of next month, but it's sold out, and it made me sad. So, blown away. How are the ARC 4 to 5 stars? I'm trying to push the books I ever wanted to or DNF. You know, I was having this conversation earlier. When I've looked at my reading for this year, most of it has been indie anyway. But the best books have all been indies, all of them, without fail. So it's still not showing. It's because I didn't put the chat box on visible. That's why. No, they're not still there. They're not. I mean, the fact you can still see. It's just trains. It's just trains. There's no Sarah J. Maas books on my shelf. I don't know what you mean. I'm overcommitted now for September, so I might not be able to get to them anyway. Hello, Witchy. Hello, Noah. Yeah, so today I am reading Cryptids and Cryptid Zoology, which will, of course, hit the... I've just closed the book. That was really smart, wasn't it? I'm going to have to search for it now. Oh, there we go. Good to see your spelling is staying as consistent as yesterday. So it's split up. It's only about 180 pages, so it doesn't deep dive at all. I like the fact that there is references and bibliography in the back. And it starts with the most sought-after cryptids before going into humanoid, aquatic, flying, land-based, reptilian, insectoid, and arthropod, and the cryptid vault of horrors. So, I mean, if it was the body, I would hide it so no one would ever find it and try and fetch it back. I'm on my phone that is slowly breaking. I have a phone you can have if you want. It's my old Lumina, because nobody else is using it. It'll need factory resetting though. The camera is amazing on it though, which to be fair, makes me slightly unwilling to move away from it. You have Angels Before Man. That is another one. I get a lot of... I buy a lot of books. Angels Before Man I have got. I can't remember where it is on my shelf. It was picked up as a cover buy, because of course it is, because it's me. And oh, there it is. Yeah, because I just loved the cover. And does this hit horror prompts? Oh, if this hits horror prompts, actually, I might read it this month. I collect books more than I read them, so there we go. I made a preliminary offer to read Mass. It's a book one as well, isn't it? I believe Angels Before Man. I'm sure there's a book 2 of it. I've promised a lot of things for September, and now I'm overcommitted and stressed. So I'm trying to decide what I want to. Because the other thing as well is, not only have I committed to the secret project, which is going to be far more hard work than I thought it was going to be, but not only have I got that, I have Spicy September, which I'll be talking with Noah about tomorrow. I'll come back to that about the Tout sequence. I think that's one I've just picked up in the last couple of weeks, actually, on my ebook. I'll need to double check. I promised to read Akatar. I have at least 2 new releases that I want to review in September, because we have Cemetery Boys Espiritu from Aidan Thomas, which I'm very excited for. And we have Andrew Joseph White's first adult horror, which I'm slightly scared of, if I'm completely honest. But they're both out in September as well. Oh, that's fine. That means I don't have to do it. You promised, don't make me get on a plane. Yeah, right. So before I do anything else, let's shoot over to my Kindle and just double check, because I have a feeling I've recently picked up the tarot sequence. If not, I will take a look at it in a minute. I know I have looked at it, but I look at that many things that I don't buy. I have not picked it up. Okay. Must be on my wish list then. Tell me a little bit about the tarot sequence. Breathe. Tell me a little bit about the tarot sequence, and I'll see whose notes I've missed. I will try and read mass. I will try. Somehow. Yeah. Planes are dangerous, like don't make Mama Dragon ride one. Don't forget to love pump. Well, I'm glad you said love pumps this time, Noel, because you've been disturbing me recently. Also, I mean, books are cheaper here, though, so you might actually save. We have thunder. Ooh, I like thunderstorm. Yay! That's not made the light any better. Normally he says tongue punch, so there we go. Oh, I love thunder. I love a good thunderstorm. It depends what mood he's in, to be honest. So, but yeah, so I'm going to Urban Fantasy Falls. I found family. Okay, let me just double check it is on my my wish list. I think it is. Sure. Also, welcome. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before, but I forget things. So because I am an old man. So no, that's not how you spell. And thank you for the subscribe as well. Called tarot. Why am I looking at that? Oh, you know what? Just go with it, Ben. Just go with it. Sequence. There we go. Echo. Ah, right. Okay. There we go. I bet I can get that from. Okay. I'm not going to get that off Amazon. I'm going to grab that somewhere else. Also, the audiobook is on sale, so that's good. September is a quick read. Have you seen how much I have? Sorry, I was recommended by YouTube. YouTube actually recommends things. This is shocking to me. Also, I think everybody in the chat, yeah, everyone in the chat is booktubers as well. So all amazing people. Go check them out. A whole plethora of videos and different things as well. So amazing people. Little bit for this week. Why is the light so shit? This week as well, I will be chatting with Noah or the Bookworm tomorrow, which will go up on Wednesday. So that's going to be fun. We are doing Don't Die July, so this is a horror-based readathon that we've done for... This is our third year? Yeah, our third year. So this month is all horror anyway. I'm going to see if that does fall under horror actually in a minute, because actually I need something to hit a very specific niche in my reading bingo board for this month. So I'm also still listening to Nosferatu by Joe Hill. And I don't know what I think of it. I really, really do love the narration. It's Kate Mulgrew. Sorry. It's Kate Mulgrew, who is, of course, Captain Catherine Janeway of the Federation starship Voyager, amongst other things. So really, really good narration, but the story's just sliding off me. Save Me from the Thunder. It's just thunder, dude. Thunder's the best thing in the world. Have you never stood outside? If you've never deliberately stood outside in a lightning storm in a field, you haven't lived. All I'm saying. We've not had a good thunderstorm for ages, actually. The sky doesn't look especially thundery, though, to be honest. I love thunderstorms. I go and stand outside in thunderstorms. I mean, I wish there was a Tinder store, but I don't go near that shit. So, anyway. You DNF Nosferatu. I can understand why. I think the only reason I'm listening to it is because Kate Mulgrew. I have... It feels very juvenile in places, which doesn't work particularly well for me. I do like... I've just hit a point where he clearly gives a nod to his dad's books, to Stephen King's books, with some location names, suggesting that this is set within the same sort of canonical universe. Really like that. But yeah, we don't get proper thunderstorms like you get, to be fair, Kat. But this is the UK, so we just moan about the weather anyway. Right, that's not what I want. Disappear. Right, I am going to try and do something. We'll see how well this works, because we have our little screw. We'll go over there. We have our little screen done. Dooba-dooba-doo. So this is the similar sort of thing to what Noah uses now. Sold another book. I'll be honest, I was looking at your Caitlin Starling book, thinking, do I want that? And I've taught myself out of it because I've bought too many books. So, all right, I will speak to you tomorrow, 1 o'clock, I think we said. So, I'm looking forward to grilling you. But you have a good sleep, buddy. And thank you for dropping in. I do want it, but I can't justify spending money on books because I've spent loads of money on hair dye and books and other things. So, yeah, Darkstar also has a what's the words I'm looking for? An eBay as well, which they link. But so if those of you that have been here before know how I do this, we have 45-minute sprints. 10-minute break-ish, and then more sprints. I'm aiming for 3 sprints tonight, which should get me to finish Cryptids and Cryptozoology, and if I do, I'm moving on to either The Rats by James Herbert, or one which I should have probably warned Elaine before, and Blackwater, book 1, The Flood. Lovely shiny book. So, well, that's the aim, but I am going to disappear my face. Oh, we need to decide on music as well, don't we? Oh, there's the rain. Okay. We'll go for Rainy Day Incantations. That seems like a especially good choice with what the weather's just done outside. Blackwater. I love the fact that I didn't call at you this time as well. That makes me happy. But yeah, so we'll sprint for 45, come back, have a chat, and see how we're doing. I'm also going to go make a cup of tea because I'm not drinking coffee at this time of night because that feels like a terrible idea. But I shall see you all in 45 minutes. Alexa, light off. There we go, we're at a break point, and I've remembered to turn my mic on. That's a bonus. How was that for everyone then? How did we all get on? How was your next story that you read, Jen? This is going to get really confusing with multiple Jennies as well. Just want to say that. But how did everyone get on? I'm at about the quarter mark. So we've covered like the idea of some of the major hoaxes and why people do hoaxes in terms of cryptids, which I find quite interesting. One that I'd never considered actually was a sighting hoax to cause interest on an area, to prevent building or something else going on there. Specifically, it gave a UK example of where a supermarket was going to be built. And when people came to investigate this, they actually discovered a specific population of, I think it was bees, but an endangered species, so they couldn't build there. So that was an interesting idea, to report cryptid sightings as a way to protect an environment. That's a fascinating thing. Cool, we were going through Bigfoot specifically, or the Sasquatch. It's covered a number of the major, most well-known sightings, or biggest sightings, running up to about 2012. Explaining what the alleged evidence is, why this may or may not be accurate, what the person has claimed since this happened, and some pros and cons against how likely this is to be realistic evidence. So that's interestingly done as well. Yeah, it's interesting to me. Yeah, so the 2012 one, let's see if we can find it, is the Provo Canyon sighting in Utah. So there's a couple from 2020, 2001. There's... Oh, that was a terrible idea. Yeah, there's a fair bit in here. I like the fact that they're kind of approaching this from a look. This was the person who said things, and yeah, this is why it might not be true. But also, like, going into the reasons for some of this was really, really interesting. So I presume the next one, I'm pretty much at the end of Bigfoot. It also went into some of the actual history in terms of a little bit of folklore in there. And there's the recognition that human memory is at times a little bit tempting to exaggerate things or misremember things based on our own imagination and our own folklores that we've already read, and how that can sometimes alter the perception. That's quite interesting. The example they gave, and I can't remember what it's called now, it was flying fish, I think it was, something like that. It was ended up being proven that these sort of camera pictures and recordings, they were actually insects, and just because of a limitation of the time, they couldn't pick up the flap of wings properly because of how fast it was, because of the amount of pictures the video camera used to take. So it ended up just being like moths and insects, but people were convinced there were these like flying tubes going through the sky. Well, that was quite interesting, and it went into how that was disproved, and also the sort of the grey line between sort of the science and the legend, I suppose. So I liked all that. Okay. T-Creoles, were they mentioned in this? There's a question. Let me just search book and notes. Let me just see if they are actually... I won't... No, that's not what I want at all. I'm going to see if I can find that in this book, actually. Because it wouldn't surprise me if they are referenced. Yes, go to that page. No, that's not what I want. Are they referenced? I'm vaguely curious. No, they're not. Okay, good to know. But yeah, it's interesting so far. The next one is the Loch Ness Monster, which... yeah, I'm very, very, very curious, because I have been to Loch Ness. a long time ago. It's definitely a place with a spooky vibe, especially in those, I was going to say, those unusual overcast Scottish days, but that's nonsense. So yeah, that's going to be the next one. So, but I like the tone of it so far. Also, worth adding, this is a series. There's a whole load of these books that this author's done. Not an author I've heard of. I actually got this for free through Book Sirens, so I should probably move that up a little bit. There we go. That way it doesn't thingy on stuff. But yeah, Loch Ness. Loch Ness fascinates me, so I think my character needs to do something else. I think he's going to go to the kitchen and have a drink. There we go. Yeah, Loch Ness fascinates me. I mean, I was a kid when I went, so it was a long time ago. But would have loved to travel there. It's very bleak, actually, and beautiful, but bleak. Nessie is real. I will hear no lies about her. Okay, Jenny. You stick to your Scottish patriotism. I'm reading The Will Down Your Adventures by K.G. Charles, Book 2, The Sugared Game. A lot of fun and dramatic on an emotional chapter. This reading sprint is the most I've read in a week. So yes, I'm so glad we're helping you read. Reading sprints help me so much, especially if I'm struggling to find time to read, because they just help focus my brain a little bit. So, but have I? So I don't think I know that book. So let me just I don't totally believe in Nessie. I think there is something there. But what? Well, that's really not helpful, Goodreads. Why do you do this? Why do you not give me what I'm looking for when I type you in? Honestly. Really do wonder. Website pants. Oh, I'm glad you're having fun though. Right, let's try this then. Because I like books and I really need to not buy more. Don't look under author, you twit. Aha, there we go. Oh look, I spelt the character's name right and it just decided to be stupid. Not characters, authors. Jesus. Alright, let's have a look then. The author is familiar to me. What have I read by them? Have I read any? I haven't read anything by them. Okay. So is this historical? It's historical romance. Okay. Will Darling came back from the Great War with a few scars. Okay. It's LGBTQ plus, which we do enjoy. We appreciate. We support that. Let's add that to want to read. That's another one added to my list. You have red zip editing and then kept distracting me with creepy sounds. I am not sorry for distracting you. This is what happens when I have multiple buttons to turn things off and I forget. I've only been doing this for a year as live streams for reading sprints, so don't blame me. It could be far worse. You could get the sort of noises that Noah does. Now that's a traumatizing thought for you. But yeah, but it looks like people are being productive. So still makes me laugh that a poll a few years back had Nessie is the most famous Scott before Shard. I mean, I would say Nessie is more famous. Personally. Certainly more infamous, but it's a bit hard to be. Yeah. God, I've got the Family Nest stuck in my head now, the cartoon. Oh no. That's a sign of age as well. I don't have as many tabs as Jaleesa, but it looks like we're about to go into our next sprint, so we can disappear the face again. I will catch you all in another 45 minutes. Have fun.
Boo.
bear with me while I try and remember how to do things because my child has just distracted me. Silence. Hello, Margaret. How are you doing? I know you haven't done me. It is a blueberry muffin pie. At least I think it's a blueberry muffin pie. I don't really know. How was that sprint for everybody? Let's send him to go sit over there now. There we go. Oops. There we go. He can stay over there. Cat napping in the drowsing heat. I mean, I don't blame you. Our heat is, well, here anyway, has finally started to dissipate a little bit. So I've just realised I've not turned my camera back on. Which one is it? That one. There we go. Yeah, the heat here has finally begun to calm a little bit. So we had thunder earlier. A great sprint, under 100 pages left to the end of the book. Woohoo! That is good. Do I have a... No, it's the UK. Don't be silly. We have windows which we can open. But it's cooled down now. Where I am now is apparently sitting at 28 degrees, but it doesn't feel it, but there's a breeze running through the house. So, but we've had thunder. It's throwing it down overnight, and tomorrow it's raining all day. So we're going back to normal for Manchester a little bit. Trying to make this a Powerball of the Soul. Really good so far. Good. Good. I am glad that you're enjoying. Also, Cobalt, Elaine, what was your video? What's the video that you're throwing up? Send emails, phone calls, complete household chores. Boo for chores. I did most of mine this morning. I'll probably do more tomorrow as well. I'm feeling that the pointless need to move things around, which I do this every few months. So my backdrop may be different in a couple of days' time. We'll see. I have gotten to just after the halfway mark in cryptids and cryptid zoology. So 54%. And I now have a bone to pick. Because in the first sprint, I literally covered like the general introduction and Bigfoot. That was the first 28% of the book. And for the next 24% has covered all the aquatic cryptids, the rest of the famous ones, and all the human ones. So there is a massive focus just on Bigfoot, which is perfectly fine, but I kind of wanted to know a little bit more. Sorry, people are bothering me. I wanted to know a little bit more about what was going on with other ones. Like Nessie was like 3 pages. Surely there's more than 3 pages of stuff to do with Nessie. Surely. I do appreciate though that it does have some more recent ones. It had one to do with a Californian cryptid, which I have not heard of, which I'm going to have to struggle to find now. Because it's one I do not know. And it's actually relatively recent as well. It's 20th century. Just trying to find where the thing is now. Where are you? I found another Scot who can't DNF besides our Jenny Fuck. I mean, I don't DNF very often. I think I've DNF'd 4 books in as many years, so... Right, no, we don't know what Mothman is. We like Mothman. It's not that one. It's not that one. That's Florida. The Fresno Nightcrawler. Yeah, which is interesting. You've lost your... What? Well, I don't like that, first of all. YouTube's just weird sometimes. Like, oh, don't mind me. I'm pressing buttons. I'm pressing the wrong button. It's stupid. I still can't get over that. You have so much more interaction than I normally get. It's just insane to me. Just baffles me. I mean, I feel your pain right now, Elaine. We have spoken about this off here a couple of times. So, but yeah, that's my biggest issue right now with this book is that it feels like it's dove big style into Bigfoot, and then just sort of whistle stop toward everything else. And even in like later chapters, at the end of every sort of section, there's 10 facts, which are great. But the 10 facts at the end of the famous ones were nearly all about Bigfoot. And then after the humanoid cryptids, a load of them were about Bigfoot. It's like, no, there's lots of things that you can be covering here. I do find it really interesting how similar the... Hello, Kiwi. How are you? How are you this fine day? I think you're... Are you sprinting today? I think you're sprinting, if I remember correctly. How are you doing? How's life? How's things? What's that about Bigfoot? I'm reading Cryptids and Cryptid Zoology by Oscar Johnson, and it's kind of meant to be a overview of cryptids. It's only 180 pages, so it's not going to be a massively detailed book. But like a beginner's guide to cryptids is how I'm seeing it. And there was lots of stuff on Bigfoot, and then everything else is kind of being breezed past. There's got to be more lore on things like Nessie and the Jersey Devil and stuff like that. There's some things in here I really like. But there was a lot of deep dive into Bigfoot with lots of examples of various different accounts of evidence, and there isn't so much. I suspect it is American, yeah. But there's a lot of American cryptids covered in here. And not nowhere near the level of detail, which I kind of get, because, you know, Bigfoot is so ubiquitous in many regards. That's a good word. But I was hoping for... I could have done with less Bigfoot and more of everything else. So, the Jersey Devil, it's classed as a humanoid cryptid because of some of the lore around it, which I had been aware of previously. About to start book 2 for Read the Beats Joy. I also need to send songs for Read the Beats August. Nice. I do need to watch your most recent one, which I think was Tangible Reads. I think, if I remember correctly. I am so behind. I'm off this week, so I'm slowly but surely catching up with Booktube. Hence why I'm actually able to do stuff this week as well, so that's quite nice. But yeah, this is just... It's just not quite hitting what I wanted it to. I kind of wanted more... Don't do that. More stuff on cryptids. I wanted more stuff on Mothman. I was really lovely. Hopefully I'll join another reading sprint again next time. Thanks again. Thank you for joining us. You're always more than welcome. Thank you for adding to my TBR list as well. And have a great rest of your day. Are you dedicating some sprints to watching rather than reading then? Not today. I've had most of the day actually doing stuff and then reading bits and pieces. But yeah, there's a lot I've got to catch up with. So as I've been wandering around the house, I've had like YouTube on in the background, watching bits and pieces. So slowly but surely getting there. Between that and listening to Nosferatu, which I will finish this week if it kills someone. But I'm up to Flying Cryptids now. So the first one's going to Java, so this should be quite interesting. But yeah, I was kind of hoping for a bit more in depth about some of the smaller ones, but you know, it's still interesting to read. So there we go. Life is crazy. So I've just realized I missed that part. Yeah, life is crazy. I know you had a lot going on. Was it June, May? I don't know what month it is anymore. My brain is broken. And book shopping is therapy. But that looks like we're off onto another reading, so let's not do that. Let's change our animal. Let's have a waxolotl. No, that's not how you do that. That's not how you do it either. And we'll have another sprint, and I will catch you all in 45. And there we have it. That was the last sprint. So my character is being very sensible and doing some stretches after being sat still for so long. If only I was that sensible. But how did everyone get on with that last one? I have hit the 75% mark in the book now. We've covered it's touched on a few more British cryptids, specifically Beast of Bodmin Moor, and a few ones that are very, very, very similar. And in a similar geographical area as well. That sounds quite... Stuff like that fascinates me. The idea of not separating government and the courts baffles my brain. I realise they're never going to be fully separated from each other, but the US system is just bonkers to me. But then again, the UK system is broken as well, so there we go. 20 pages to go. Nice. Nicely done. Yeah, so I think, what have I got left? Hang on, let's have a look. Let's have a look, see what I've got left. So I'm on Reptilian... basically, the government has no control of... Well, very limited influence over the choice of judges. Basically, judges are meant to be independent, so the government can pass laws. However, the courts can and often do turn around and push back and go, that law isn't legal, and push back in that way. And the government is bound by the courts in those cases, as a rule of thumb. Yeah. Although it also depends on where you are, because the courts in England and the courts in Scotland are different, because in Scotland they actually have guilty, not guilty, and not proven, i.e. we know you did it, we just can't prove that you did it. So I read part of another short story in Good for Her and gave my daughter a snack. Happy days. Yeah, it's just a mess. It's a mess. The world is a mess. It's a mess that we made, but the world is a mess. But yeah, I'm on Reptilian Cryptids. Well, I'm on Reptilian Cryptids now, and that leaves me within Sectoid and Arthropods, the Cryptid Vault, and the epilogue afterwards. So, not much left to read. Might finish it tonight, might not. We will have to wait. There we go. We'll have to wait and see. And then I also need to decide what is happening with this, because yeah, it may not be this colour next time that I stream. We shall see. We shall see. But I think that's it. So there's lots of other people's printing. Here's a stretch. That's as much as you get. That actually hurt as well. Don't know what that says about me. So, Donna Marie Reeds is still sprinting, as is Family and Books, which is Paula, who was in earlier, if you want to bounce into other sprints. And also, Kiwi is sprinting in a bit as well. So, all things to consider to help with your productivity for the day. I am going to go hunting for tea, because I'm English and it's been about an hour. So, there we go. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me, and all the new people that dropped in as well. Have a great rest of the day or rest of the week. And also, I will be on with Elaine on Thursday. So, that'll be fun. We're going to, in theory, be talking about Horror and Don't Die July, amongst other things. And I suspect there will be a lot of other things, because there always is. But have a great rest of your day. Stay safe. Stay safe in this insane world. And I will catch you all very, very soon.